Hi everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we are making this fabulous shark blanket. I've gotten so many requests for this blanket, so I decided that I might as well do it. So here it is. It's so lovely and so large for an adult-sized person. Make sure to watch to the very end of this video. I show you how to, or give you tips on how to make this much smaller if you want to make it for your toddler or for your child size. So if you want to make it smaller, watch to the very end of this video and I'll show you how to do that. But this one today is going to fit a large adult or a medium-sized adult that definitely will fit me. So I'm excited to try this out. But before we start, I do want to go through all of the supplies we need today. So the supplies we are going to need, I'm using all Red Heart Super Saver yarn solids. This is worsted weight size medium 4 yarn. It is 10 ply, and the total amount in this size, specifically this large adult size, I am using about 1,700 yards of gray yarn, of just the gray. Okay, so I'm using gray heather, as you can see on this label here, and I said 1,700 yards of that for the large adult size. Now if you were going to make it smaller, you would not need that much, but during this video I do use 2 strands of yarn at the same time for the fins and the tail. So make sure to have 2 strands going at the same time. We're going to be using the other colors also. We're using scraps of just black, red, and white, so make sure you have cherry red and then just plain white and plain black, just small amounts of those, not much at all. I guess mostly white for the teeth, but for the black we're just using it for the eyes and the gills, and then the red is just 1 line for the gum line here, so not very much of that. And the size hooks we are going to use for the main part of the blanket, we're using 1 strand of yarn and we're using a K-size hook, which is a 6.5 millimeter hook. That is just for the blanket part. And then for the fins and the eyes and the accessories, all the embellishments, we're going to be using an eye hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter hook. You could go down to a 5 millimeter, which is an H-size hook on when we are using this eye hook, but I would recommend just using both of these hooks at the same or during this project. So if you need to get those at any craft store, perfect. Also, lastly, scissors and a yarn needle. We will be sewing in our ends, sewing on embellishments. This yarn needle is going to save our lives during this project because I could not do this project without it. And then scissors as well. So make sure you have all of those supplies. Before we start, I do want to mention to check out all the links in the description of this video. I will have links to my blog where you can find out where to get this written pattern for this project. There's also a link to my Facebook. Please join me there, like my page, share my page, and share your photos on our Facebook as well and get inspiration from other crocheters too. And also check out my Instagram. I'll put the link into my Instagram down there in the description of this video so you can follow me there. And if you post a photo on Instagram, make sure to hashtag YARNutopia so that I can see your crochet creations. And if you make this shark blanket, please share a photo. I would love to see all your sharks. This is so much fun to make. And lastly, follow me on Snapchat. You can snap me and watch me snap as I go through life, and you can see you know, what I like to do on my free time and when I'm not crocheting or when I am crocheting. And lastly, subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Make sure to check out my channel too. If you subscribe, you can get updates on when I put new videos out. And go to my YouTube channel page, and on the right hand side there is a blue button that says support us. Make sure you support us so we can keep bringing you these awesome crochet tutorials. I try to put 1 or 2 out every week, so keep supporting us. I do want to thank our videographer and editor Fuad Azmat for taking the time out to make this video with us. That's my dad, so shout out to him. Thank you so much for watching, and let's get started on making this fabulous shark blanket. Alright, to start off we have to make a slip knot, so put the short end over the long end and then fold that down and then pull that through and pull tight insert your hook, and we're ready to go. Now let's see here, we have to chain 3, so yarn over and pull through 1, 2, and 3. And then in the third chain from the hook, we have to put 10 double crochets. So the loop that's on your hook never counts as anything. So count 1, 2, and 3. And in this chain here, we're going to put 10 double crochets. A double crochet is when you yarn over, go into the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, that's a double crochet. So make 9 more for a total of 10. So again, yarn over, go into that chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so I have 3. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so I have my 10 double crochets in that middle there. You can see it's starting to form a circle, which we are going to slip stitch to the first double crochet of this round. Do not slip stitch to this chain up 2. The chain up 2 in this project never counts as anything. It just gets us to the height we need, and it's where our seam is going to be. So count back 10 if you need to, and then insert your hook in that first double crochet of the round. Yarn over, pull through and through for a slip stitch. Okay, so now we are finished with round 1, going on to round 2. Rounds 2 and 3 are the same. We are going to chain up 2, so 1 and 2. And we are just going to double crochet 1 in each stitch around. So yarn over, go into the first stitch right here is the same one that we chained up 2 in. Okay, right in there. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so we're just putting 1 double crochet into each stitch around for rounds 2 and 3. Okay, so let me just get you around here. And you can see already it's going to start making like a bowl shape, like a cone style shape. So it's going to start folding up, which is exactly what we want because we're making a cone style. Okay, so at the end of this round you should still have 10 double crochets, so we're back around to the beginning. We want to slip stitch to the first double crochet. Like I said earlier, do not slip stitch to the chain up 2. We are going to insert our hook right into the first double crochet of this round. Yarn over, pull through and through for a slip stitch, and then chain up 2, 1 and 2. And now just for round 3, we are going to double crochet around. So just put 1 double crochet into each stitch, exactly like how we did for round number 2. So just do that, and then I'll meet you up at the end of this round and we'll go on to round 4 together. Alright, I'm back around, and now we just want to slip stitch to the first double crochet of this round. Okay, yarn over, pull through and through. Now going on to round number 4. This is an increase round, so chain up 2, 1 and 2, and now we are going to put 2 double crochets into each stitch around. So yarn over, we're going to work right into this first stitch here. So yarn over, go into that stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, go back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so that's 2 in the first stitch, and we're putting 2 double crochets into each stitch around. Okay, so in this next one, there's 1 and 2. Okay, I just put 2 in there. Next one, 2 stitches, 1 and 2. Okay, so just put 2 double crochets into each stitch all the way around, and at the end of this round you'll have 20 double crochets. So at the end of this round I'll meet you up and we'll go on to round 5 together. Alright, so I'm back around. I have 20 double crochets around. You can start seeing how this is increasing like this. We are making this increase like a V or like a cone shape. So now slip stitch into the first double crochet of this round right here. Just insert your hook, yarn over, pull through and through. And now going on to rounds 5 and 6 are exactly the same. It's just a repeat of rows 2 and 3. So we're just chaining up 2 and putting 1 double crochet into each stitch around. Okay, so no increases on rounds 5 and 6. We're just putting 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way around. I'll meet you up then when I finish round 6. Right now we're working on round 5, so I'll finish round 6 and then we'll go on to round 7, which is an increase round together. Alright, so I'm back around. I just finished round 6. So we did 5 and 6 were just 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So now we're just going to slip stitch to the beginning double crochet of this round and go on to round 7, which is an increase round. We're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2 there, and now we are going to put 2 double crochet in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then repeat that sequence around. So put 2 double crochet in this first stitch where we just chained up 2 in, so 1 and 2. Okay, 2 double crochets in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, just like that. Then repeat that, so we'll put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, okay, and then 1 double crochet in the next, and just repeat. So 2 double crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch. So basically every other stitch is going to have 2 double crochets in there. At the end of this round you'll have 30 double crochets, so then I'll just meet you up when I have that. Alright, so I just finished round 7 and I have the every other stitch has the 2 double crochets in there, so I have 30 double crochets. Now I'm just going to slip stitch to the first double crochet of this round. Always remember, we're not slip stitching to this chain up 2 here. We're always slip stitching to the first double crochet. So yarn over, pull through and through, chain up 2, 1 and 2, and for rounds 8 and 9 it's just a repeat of rounds 2 and 3. Just double crochet in each stitch around. Don't forget this first one that we just slip stitched into. Make sure to put your first double crochets in there. So put 1 double crochet into each stitch around on rounds 8 and 9. And then I'll just meet you up then once I'm finished with round 9, and then round 10 is an increase round, so I will meet you up and we'll do round 10 together. Alright, so I just finished rounds 8 and 9 here. I just put 1 double crochet into each stitch around, and that is a total of 30 double crochets on each round. Now we're just going to slip stitch to the beginning here, and then I'm going to go on to round number 10, which is an increase round. We are going to chain up 2, 1 and 2. And in the first stitch we're going to put 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 2 double crochets in the first stitch right here. So 1 and 2. Okay, and then 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 1. Okay, so 2 in the first, 1 in the next, 1 in the next, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in this next stitch. Okay, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Just like that. Okay, so again, 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. At the end of this round you'll have 40 double crochets, so I'll just continue repeating this type of pattern, and then I'll meet you up when we go on to rounds 11 and 12 together. Alright, so I just finished round 10 here. You just put 2 double crochets in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and just repeated that all the way around. So you can see 2 and then 1 and then 1 and then 2, 1 and 1. And now I have my 40 double crochets on this round, so I'm just going to slip stitch to the first double crochet of this round right here. Slip stitch and then chain up 2 to go on to round 11. Rounds 11 and 12 are repeats of rounds 2 and 3, so we're just going to put 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So you're kind of getting the pattern. We're doing an increase round and then 2 rounds of non-increase rounds and then an increase round, and we're increasing by 10 each round. So if you are more of an advanced crocheter, you can go on to making this however big you want it to be. But stick with me and I will finish rounds 11 and 12, and then we'll go on to round 13 for our increase round. I just finished round 12, so now we're going on to round 13. I just for 11 and 12 we just put 1 double crochet in each stitch around, slip stitched to the beginning double crochet, and then chained up 2. So slip stitch to the beginning, just like that, and then chain up 2. Going on to round 13, we are making an increase round, and we are putting 2 double crochets in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then repeating that around. So put 2 double crochets in this first stitch, so 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 2 in the first, 1 in the next 3, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So just repeat that around. At the end of this round, this is round 13, you'll have 50 double crochets. So at the end of this round, I'll meet you up and we'll go on to round 14 together. Alright, so I just finished round 13 doing our increases. I have 50 double crochets. If you have to count back 50, do so, and then slip stitch to the first double crochet of this round. And going on to rounds 14 and 15, again, you know what we have to do, just chain up 2 and put 1 double crochet into each stitch around. I'll meet you up then when I finish round 15. So this is round 14 right here, and then it's just 1 double crochet into each stitch around, and also on round 15, just 1 double crochet into each stitch around, and then once I finish round 15, I'll meet you up, we'll go on to round 16 together. Alright, I just finished round 15, so rounds 14 and 15 were just 1 double crochet into each stitch around, and now I'm just going to slip stitch to the beginning here, round 15. And going on to round 16, we need to chain up 2, 1 and 2, and we are going to increase. So we're going to put 2 double crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches, and then repeat that around. So yarn over, go into this first stitch for 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and then put 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then put 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next, 1 and 2, and then put 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. Okay, so at the end of this round you will have 60 double crochets, and then I'll meet you up and we'll go on to rounds 17 and 18 together. Alright, going on to round 17 here, I just want to slip stitch to the beginning here in round 16. Okay, so now I have my 60 double crochets around, doing that increase round. So now round 17 we're going to just do, or 17 and 18 are both repeats of round 2 and 3, and you know what to do, just chain up 2 and put 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So I'm going to do round 17 and 18, and then I'll meet you up for round 19, which is our increase. Alright, so I'm just finishing up round 18 here, and then we'll go on to round 19 together. We just did round 17 and 18 off camera, where I just put 1 double crochet into each stitch around, so there was no increasing on those 2 rows or rounds. But then round 19, where we're working on now, we're going to slip stitch to the beginning here, and then round 19 we're going to chain up 2. We're going to put 2 double crochets in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. Okay, so and then we're going to repeat that around. So put 2 double crochets in this first stitch, 1 and 2. Okay, and then put 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then put 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So just repeat that around. At the end of this round you'll have 70 double crochets. So I'll meet you up and we'll go on to rounds 20 and 21 together. Okay, I just finished round 19, so I have 70 double crochets. Now we're going to go on to round 20, so slip stitch to the beginning. And 20 and 21 are just repeats of round 2 and 3, so just chain up 2 and put 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So simple. So after round 21, also, after round 20, obviously you need to slip stitch to the first double crochet of this round and chain up 2, and then go on to round 21 by putting 1 double crochet into each stitch around. And then once I'm finished with round 21, round 22 is an increase round, so we'll meet up and I'll go on to round 22 with you. Alright, so I just finished round 21, and round 20 and 21 were just the 1 double crochet into each stitch around, and then we want to slip stitch to the beginning and then chain up 2, 1 and 2. So now we're going to go on to round 22, and it is our increase round. So we're going to put 2 double crochets in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 6 stitches. Okay, and then repeat that around. So put 2 double crochets in this first stitch. So make sure you yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And again, we're putting 2 double crochets in that first stitch, and then put 1 double crochet in the next 6 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in this next stitch. 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, again repeat, so put 2 double crochets in the next stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 6 stitches. At the end of this round you will have 80 double crochets. So then I'll just meet you up and we'll go on to rounds 23 and 24 together. Okay, so I just finished round 22 here, and now I'm just going to slip stitch to the beginning. So I have my 80 double crochets all the way around, and now we're going to go on to rounds 23 and 24, which you just chain up 2 and put 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So it's that simple. It's those repeats of rounds 2 and 3, just putting 1 double crochet into each stitch around for rounds 23 and 24, and then I'll meet you up. We'll increase on round 25, so I'll meet you up when we start round 25 together. Alright, so I'm just finishing round 24 here. Okay, just slip stitch to the beginning, and we're ready to go on to round 25. So round 23 and 24 were just 1 double crochet into each stitch around. Round 25 is an increase round, which we are going to put 2 double crochets in the first stitch. Make sure you chain up 2 first, and then put 2 double crochets in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches. So 2 double crochets in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, like that, and then put 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches. At the end of this round you will have 90 double crochets. So I'll meet you up after this round and we will go on to round 26 together. Okay, so I'm just finishing round 25 here. There we go. So I have my 90 double crochets around. I'm going to slip stitch to the first double crochet of this round and then chain up 2 to go on to rounds 26 and 27, which are repeats of round 2 and 3. So just put 1 double crochet into each stitch around for rounds 26 and 27. And then after round 27, I will just meet you up and we'll go on to increase with round 28. Alright, I'm just finishing up round 27 here. Okay, slip stitch to the beginning. Okay, so I just did rounds 26 and 27 off camera, just putting 1 double crochet into each stitch around, totaling 90 still. So rounds 25, 26, and 27 all have 90 stitches. 25 was our increase round, then 26 and 27 were just 1 double crochet in each stitch around. So now we are going on to round 28, which is an increase round. We are going to chain up 2, and we are going to put 2 double crochets in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 8 stitches, and then repeat that around. So yarn over, go into this first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And then put another one in there. So yarn over, go in there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now you have 2 double crochets in that first stitch. Then just put 1 double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets into this next stitch right here. Okay, so 2 double crochets in there, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, I'll show you again. Put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet in the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then just repeat that all the way around. At the end of this round you will have 100 stitches, 100 double crochets, and then let's see here, this is round 28, so then round 29 and 30 are not increase rounds. They are just 1 double crochet in each stitch around, but I'll show you how to do that. So I'll meet you up when I finish round 28, and we'll go on to round 29 together. Alright, just finishing round 28 here. There we go. Slip stitch to the beginning double crochet of this round. And then rounds 29 and 30, just chain up 2 and put 1 double crochet in each stitch around. So it's just a repeat of rounds 2 and 3. So we're just putting 1 double crochet in each stitch around for 100 double crochets on each of these rounds. After I finish round 30, so right now I'm doing round 29, I'm going to do rounds 29 and 30 off camera, and then once I finish round 30, we'll go on to round 31 together, which is an increase round. Okay, so I just finished round 30 here, so I'm just slip stitching to the beginning double crochet of this round, chain up 2, and now going on to round 31. This is an increase round, so we are going to put 2 double crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 9 stitches, and then repeat that around. So put 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then just put 1 double crochet in the next 9 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then repeat, so put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then put 1 double crochet in the next 9 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then again, we'll put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 9 stitches. So do that all the way around. At the end of this round, you'll have 110 double crochets, and then we will go on to rounds 32 and 33 together. Alright, so I just finished round 31 here. I have my 110 stitches, so you can see my increased stitches here. So now we are going to go on to rounds 32 and 33, which are repeats of round 2 and 3. So just slip stitch to the beginning here, chain up 2, and just put 1 double crochet into each stitch around for rounds 32 and 33. And then after round 33, I will meet you back up and we'll go on to round 34 together. Alright, so I just am finishing up, let's see here, round 33. So going on to round 34, we want to slip stitch to the beginning here. We're going to do an increase round for round 34. We're going to chain up 2, and then we're going to put 2 double crochets in the next stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 10 stitches, and then repeat that around. So yarn over, go into this first stitch here for 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Okay, so 2 double crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 10 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then put 1 double crochet in each of the next 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 10 stitches. At the end of this round, you should have 120 double crochets, and this is, let's see, this is round 34. So I'll finish round 34, just increase the way we are, putting 2 double crochets and in one stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 10 stitches, and then I'll meet you up when we go on to rounds 35 and 36 together. Alright, so I'm just finishing round 34, and we did our increases, so now I have 120 stitches on this round. And now going on to rounds 35 and 36, we're just going to slip stitch to the beginning double crochet of this round, and then chain up 2, and then just put 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So basically repeating round 2 and 3 for rounds 35 and 36. And then once I finish round 36, I will meet you up. We'll do an increase for round 37. Alright, so I just finished rounds 35 and 36, just putting 1 double crochet in each stitch around. You should still have 120 stitches. So I'm going to slip stitch to the beginning here. Going on to round 37, we're going to chain 2, and we are going to put 2 double crochets in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 11 stitches, and then repeat that. So yarn over, go into this first stitch for 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and then put 1 double crochet in each of the next 11 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 11 stitches. Okay, so just continue doing that all the way around. At the end of this round, you should have 130 double crochets. So I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you back around, and we'll go on to rounds 38 and 39 together. Alright, so I just finished round 37 here, so I'm just going to slip stitch to the beginning. So rounds 38 and 39 are repeats of round 2 and 3, so just chain up 2, and we are just going to put 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way around for rounds 38 and 39. So once I finish round 39, I'll meet you up and we'll go on to round 40 together. Alright, so I just finished rounds 38 and 39, just putting 1 double crochet into each stitch around for those rounds. You should still have 130 double crochets at this point. So now I'm going to slip stitch to the beginning here, and we are going to go on to round 40. Okay, so for round 40, we are going to chain 2 and put 2 double crochets in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 12 stitches this time, and that is going to end us up with 140 double crochets at the end of this round. So put 2 double crochets in that first stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 12 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and then repeat that around. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 12 stitches, then 2 double crochets in the next, and then 1 double crochet in the next 12 stitches, and then just repeat that all the way around. Like I said, you'll have 140 double crochets at the end of this round. I'll meet you up and we'll go on to rounds 41 and 42 together. Alright, I'm just finishing up round 40 here, so I have 140 stitches, 140 double crochets. At the end of this round, I'm just slip stitching to the beginning double crochet of this round here. And now going on to rounds 41 and 42, we're just going to chain up 2, and then we are just going to put 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around, you know, just repeating our pattern, repeating rounds 2 and 3 for rounds 41 and 42. And then round 43 is our last increase round, because we want 150 stitches all the way around for size large. So I'm making the size large shark afghan for a large adult, or I guess it could fit a medium or large adult, just a tall person. So just continue working this pattern. I'll meet you up then when I am finishing round 42. We'll go on to round 43 together, and then the rest of the pattern is easy from here, very mindless. So just continue this. Also, make sure to watch to the very end of this video. I will show you how to make this smaller or bigger, for that fact. You know, if you need it to be bigger or if you need it to just be smaller for a child size, I will show you and give you explanations on how to do that at the very end of this video. Alright, I just finished round 42, so 41 and 42 are just 1 double crochet into each stitch around. And now going on to round 43, our last increase round for a size large here. Just slip stitch to the beginning here, chain up 2, 1 and 2, and now we want to increase, so put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, so this very first stitch right here, put 2 double crochets in there, and then put 1 double crochet in the next 13 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, and then repeat that. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 13 stitches, then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 13 stitches. At the end of this round, you'll have 150 double crochets. So that should be large enough for a size large. Now, if you need it to be larger than what we are making, just continue with the pattern as we've been going, and I will have that in the written pattern as well, how to increase even more if you need to. But then after this round, I will show you, we won't be working in rounds anymore, we'll be working in rows, and I will show you how to do that. And there is also an option where you, if you want to, you can work in rounds continuously throughout this whole thing to be a full cocoon, but I'm going to have a slit open in the back to be able to open it and slide just your feet in this bottom portion here. So this is what it looks like so far. I am going to continue with the pattern how we are working right now. So at the end of round 43 we'll have 150 stitches, and then I will meet up and go on to row 44. Alright, at this point I just finished round 43, so I'm just going to slip stitch to the beginning here. And now at this point you can decide to do what I'm doing and work in rows, working back and forth, so that there will be an opening V like this, so that you can kind of open it up, stick your feet in, and this will be the back, so that this will be the front, and then you can stick your feet in here, but then have the back part open to kind of wrap around you. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Or if you want it to be a full cocoon, you can just continue to just chain up two and do 1 double crochet in each stitch around, and do how we've been doing those repeats of rounds 2 and 3, just putting 1 double crochet in each stitch around, then slip stitch, then chain up 2, and then work 1 double crochet in each stitch around for however long you need it to be. So you can do it 2 ways, the whole cocoon way or my way, which we're going to work in rows now. So row 44 and the rest of the rows, we are going to chain 2 and then work 1 double crochet into each stitch around row 43. So we're working into the stitches of row 43 here. This is row 44. So we're just working all the way around this piece, just working 1 double crochet in each stitch around. But then when we come back to the beginning, we're not going to slip stitch to the beginning. We are going to chain up 2 and turn our work and work back around to the beginning here. So I'll show you how to do that. It sounds confusing at this point, but it's not really when you get to that point. So I'll meet you up when I finish this row 44. Just put 1 double crochet in each stitch around. Alright, so I'm finishing up row 44 here, so I'm just coming to the beginning. Now, at this point, this is where you decide if you want to do rows. Keep following along, otherwise if you were going to do the full cocoon, you would want to slip stitch in this first double crochet here, chain up 2, and then work the repeat then of what we just did for row 44. But I'm not going to be doing that, so just chain up 2 at this point. And now we're going to turn our work, so we're looking at the inside of our shark here, like this. And now we're going to work back around this piece. So for row 45, we're going to work right in this first double crochet here. So this chain up 2 never counts as anything. Remember that from the very beginning of this video, I said that. So we're just going to put a double crochet in it here and 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way around. And that's it. So we're just going to be doing that, so you can see that it is going to start forming this V kind of shape here, and then that will be an opening for where then you can stick your feet into this part, into this tail part here, and then the rest of this will be covering the body. So just continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch around, then I'll meet you up at the end of this round, and then I'll go on to round 40 or row 46 together, and then I'll let you be for however long you want to make your shark. Alright, so I'm coming up on the end here, and I have 3 stitches left. And remember that the chain up 2 at the beginning of this round did not count as anything, so do not double crochet into that chain up 2 right there. See, 1, 2, do not double crochet in there, because then you'll add another stitch and then that would just be bad. So now at this point, we are at this point here. So now we want to chain up 2, 1 and 2, turn our work to look at the outside of our shark tail, and we're just going to work the opposite way now. So yarn over, go into this first stitch right here, and make a double crochet, and we are just going to double crochet into each stitch around. Now at this point you can make this however long you want it to be. I'm actually not even sure at this point how long I'm going to make mine, so I'm going to just let you be, just repeat rounds 40 or rows 44 and 45, just turning your work back and forth if you're copying the exact shark that I'm making right here on video, and just make it as long as you want it. Once I make mine as long as I want, I will let you know in this video how long I did make it, how many rows I do have from row 44 upward here. So just continue working this pattern just like this, and in the written pattern I will say, I will put which rows or how many rows at this point I will be doing. So just look at the written pattern if you want to look ahead. Otherwise just follow along, and I'll meet you up when my shark tail is as long as I want it to be. Alright, so I ended up doing 30 rows. Okay, so back and forth. So let me see if this is so large. I don't know if I'll be able to. There we go. So you can see here that this is open like this. So I did rows 44 to 74 this whole way, and that is the length I am comfortable with. It is a very stretchy blanket, so this will fit a large person. I'm over 5 feet, and it will fit me, and my family members are almost 6 feet, and it will still fit them. So this is our size large. You can still continue going, however long you want it to be. If you want to continue going at this point, just continue repeating this until it is as long as you want it to be. But to fasten off at this point with our gray, I'm just going to chain 1, cut my yarn, and then pull that all the way through, and then pull tight. Okay, and then we can weave in that end, which I ended up using for this portion, this whole large portion of this blanket. I used 2 jumbo rolls, which are 482 yards each. So I used 2 full ones of this. I mean, I only have this much left. So I used 2 full skeins of the jumbo rolls for just this part. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to, let me sew in this end real quick. I'll show you how to do that. So just yarn your needle, go into the stitches, and then underneath them, this is how I weave in my ends, just hiding it, and then pulling that all the way through, and then stretching that out so that it gets hidden, and then cut that excess, and it's all hidden in there. Okay, so now let's go on to making the mouth area and the teeth. Okay, so looking at your tail like this, you want to have the bottom toward you. Okay, and we're going to start working on this part here. If you made the whole cocoon style, just start where you fastened off. Okay, insert your hook, get the red yarn, because we're going to make some the gums of the shark here. Okay, get your red yarn. So I just inserted my hook in this last stitch here, and then I just fold this in half here. Some people like to start off with a slip knot and then hook it on, but I just fold it in half, hook it on, and then pull that all the way through, just like that, and then drop my straggler, I chain up 1, and now we're attached. I am going to work over the top of my straggler so it gets sewn in right away. And we are going to just we just chained up that 1, and now we're just going to half double crochet all the way across this top row here. So yarn over, go into this first stitch that we just attached to, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Just like that. That's our first half double crochet. Go into the next stitch by yarning over, going in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Okay, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over, go in. Okay, so we're just making half double crochets all the way across this row, just like this with red. And these will be the gums, and then the next row we will be creating the teeth. So I'll show you how to fasten off with the red, and then we'll change to white and we will make the teeth. Alright, so I'm just coming up at the end here, last half double crochet of this row, and then we need to just fasten off the red because it was just that small detail. So I just chain up 1, cut that yarn, and then pull that all the way through and pull tight. Okay, and then we can weave in that end. So let me get my yarn needle and I'll show you how I sew in my ends here. Just going underneath the stitches. Just like that. And then cut the extra, stretch that out so it's all hidden, and there you have it. So now just get out your white yarn and we will make the teeth. Alright, so we just finished our gum line here, and now you want to look at your blanket this way. So again, with the opening like this, we're going to start where we started the gums right here at this corner. So and we're going to work around and we're going to make the teeth. So insert your hook. Oh, by the way, we're using our smaller hook this time. You can use your I hook or an H hook. So I'm using the 5.5 millimeter hook at this point for the rest of the pattern now, for all the fins and the teeth, so and the eyes as well. So for the rest of the pattern we're using a smaller hook. You can use the I hook or an H hook, which is 5 millimeters. So get something like this. So for the rest of the pattern we'll be using this other hook. And I'll have that also in the written pattern to show you which hook to use for which part of the blanket. So attach your white yarn in this last stitch here. Okay, so or this first stitch, I guess. We're just gonna hook the yarn through. Okay, and attach it just like that. And now we need to chain 6. Okay, so chain, yarn over, pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and now we're working along this chain, and then we're going to start working on the gums line as well. Okay, so we're making the teeth here. We want to make them sharp, so I'm going to work along this chain, and I'm going to turn this chain toward me. So I'm going to start working in these back ridges here, just so the teeth have clean edges on both sides. In the second chain from the hook right here, we are going to slip stitch. So the loop that's on your hook never counts as anything, so count 1 and 2. And we're going to insert our hook into that second chain, yarn over, pull through, and through. Okay? Then in the second chain, or in this next chain here, this is the third chain, but technically, but the next chain here, we are going to single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, just like that. That's a single crochet. Now in the next stitch, we are going to half double crochet. So yarn over, go into that chain, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. That's a half double crochet. In the next chain, we are going to double crochet. So yarn over, go into that chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. That's our double crochet. Now in this last chain here, we are going to treble crochet. So yarn over twice, okay? Let me show you how to do that. Yarn over 1 and 2. And then go into that chain. Okay? Then yarn over and pull that through. So now you have 4 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2 more loops. So now you have 2 loops on your hook, and now you're going to yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. That's a treble crochet. Okay? Now we're going to go back down onto the gum line here. We're going to skip the next 3 stitches right here, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go into this next stitch for a slip stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. There is your first shark tooth. Awesome. So now we want to repeat. So chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the second chain from the hook, we are going to slip stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and through. In the next stitch, we are going to single crochet. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. In the next chain, we are going to half double crochet, so yarn over, go into the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. In the next chain, we are going to double crochet, so yarn over, go in to that chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. And in the last chain, we want to yarn over twice and make a treble crochet. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 more loops, and yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Then we want to skip 3 stitches on the gum line here and insert our hook into the next stitch for a slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through, and through. And there's our second tooth. Okay, so we're just going to do this all the way across. So again, I'll show you chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the second chain, make a slip stitch. In the next chain, make a single crochet. In the next chain, make a half double crochet. And in the next chain, make a double crochet. And in the last, make a treble crochet. Then skip 3 stitches on the gum line, and in the next stitch, make a slip stitch. Okay, so then we have 3 teeth there. So those are what our teeth are going to look like all the way across. So just continue working that pattern all the way across here, and then I'll meet you up toward the end and I'll show you how we're going to fasten off and weave in our ends. Okay, so we're just coming out to the end here, and I don't have 3 stitches left. Just if yours do not calculate the same, that's fine, because nobody's really going to notice this. Just make 1 more tooth, and depending on how many you have to skip, I only have to skip 1, but depending on however many you have to skip, just slip stitch into the last stitch of this row. Okay, so again, it's probably not going to calculate 3 there, but you can't even notice. And plus this is on the inside, so it's probably going to be underneath you anyway, wrapped around you, so that's not going to be noticeable at all for this last tooth here. To fasten off, I just like to chain up 1, cut my yarn, and then continue pulling that all the way through and pull tight. And then to sew in our ends, we'll have to sew in these white ends on each side. I like to just yarn my needle and then go in through these stitches. Basically wherever the needle will go through is where it can be sewn in. And you can even sew it up a tooth, like this way. It really doesn't matter. As long as it's hidden, it's all good in the hood there. Okay, let's cut that. And then do that same process for this other side here. Just sew it in to the teeth, to the white. Make sure that it is in its corresponding color. Do not sew it into the red, because then you'll definitely see that, and that is not attractive. So then cut that, stretch it out, and there you have it. Our teeth are completed, just like that. So now we are going to work on all the fins. First we're going to start with the tail and then work our way to the front of our shark. So we're working on this part here. We're going to make it separate and then we're going to attach it like this. We're going to make two separate pieces and then sandwich them onto this piece and then stuff it a little bit. So get your stuffing, get your gray yarn, and I'll meet you up to make the tail fin. Alright, with our I-sized hook, you could use an H-sized hook for this as well, but with our I-sized hook, which is 5.5 millimeters, we are going to make the tail fin, and we are going to use 2 strands of yarn at the same time, just to give it a little bit more bulky, thick look. If you want to use bulky yarn, you totally can in this instance, but I'm just going to use 2 strands of the red heart yarn, just like this. 2 strands at the same time. So, for the tail fin, let me get my pattern out here. We need to start with a slip knot. Okay, so put your short end over the long end, fold that down, and then pull that through, and pull that tight. Insert your hook, and we're ready to go. Okay, so chain 52. You could do a foundation double crochet row of 50, but I'm just going to chain. So yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I won't make you watch all 52, so just continue chaining 52, and then once I have my 52 chains, I'll meet you up and we'll go on to row 1. Alright, so this is what your chain should look like. Okay, it's quite long here. And now, going on to row 1, we want to double crochet in the 3rd chain and across. So looking at our chain like this, I personally like to turn my chain toward me and work through these back ridges. Okay, just through these back ridges, just like that. And we want to work in the 3rd chain, so the loop that's on your hook never counts as anything, and it actually looks like there's 2 loops here because we are using 2 strands. So never count that, but count 1, 2, and 3, and right in this chain here, we're going to yarn over, go into that chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 of the loops, which actually looks like 4 of the loops, like that, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops on your hook, which again looks like 4 loops there. Okay, then yarn over, go into the next chain, yarn over, pull that through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, I just assume that you already know how to do double crochet since we did that in basically our hotel. So just double crochet across this entire chain. At the end of this chain you should have 50 double crochets. So I'll meet you up at the end of this chain and we'll go on to row 2 together. Alright, so this is what your row 1 should look like, double crocheting all the way across. And now going on to row 2, we want to chain up 2, 1 and 2, turn our work, and now we'll be working in the back loops only, okay? For this whole pattern, for this whole tail, we usually work through both loops like this, okay? Both loops like that, but this is the front loop, and this is the back loop. Okay, front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop. So we'll be going right in here and going through the back loop, just like this. But you want to make sure that you're going around both strands of yarn. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. Yarn over. Oh, and in this first part here, we want to double crochet 2 together twice. Okay, so we'll be double crocheting these 2 together and then double crocheting these 2 together. I'll show you how to do that. Just remember to work through the back loops only. So yarn over, go into the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, hold it, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull that through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through those 3 loops that are on your hook. You have 3 loops left, just yarn over and pull through all 3 of those. That's a double crochet 2 together. So now we have to do it again over these 2 stitches. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, remember back loops only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, go into the next stitch, back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 3 loops. Okay, so we just put those 2 together and those 2 together into 1 stitch. So now for the rest of this row, we're just going to put 1 double crochet into each stitch across and working in the back loops only on this. So I'll just finish off this row number 2 and we will go on to row number 3 together. Alright, so coming up on the end here, this is our last stitch right here. Do not put a stitch in this chain up 2 right here. It's going to look like a stitch, but don't work in that. That's going to be hidden anyways when we single crochet around this piece. But just put your double crochet in the last stitch there. At the end of this row, if you have to count back, if you're unsure if that is a stitch or not, just count back. You should have 48 stitches on this row. So just make sure you have 48 stitches on this row, and then we can go on to row number 3, which we have to chain up 2. So yarn over, pull through 1 and 2, turn your work, and now we are going to just double crochet across in the back loops only until there are 4 stitches left on this row. Okay, once there's 4 stitches left on this row, I'll meet you up and we will do the double crochet decreases over those 2, and I'll show you how to do that. So just double crochet on this row, row number 3, in the back loops only until you get to the end, the last 4 stitches. Alright, so I'm just coming up to the end here and I have 4 stitches left. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to double crochet these 2 together, and then we're going to double crochet those 2 together. So yarn over, go into this first stitch, back loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through those last 3 loops on your hook. Okay, and we'll do that again over these last 2. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, go into the last stitch on this row, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Okay, so on the end of row 3, you should have 46 double crochet or stitches, the 2 decreases, and then 44 regular double crochets. Okay, so now going on to row 4, we're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, turn your work, and we're going to repeat row 2. So yarn over, go into the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through those 3 loops. Then yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, go through the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Okay, so we just did 2 decreases. Now we're just going to put 1 double crochet into each stitch the rest of this row, and then I'll meet you up and we'll go on to row 5 together. Alright, just finishing up row 4 here, and just have a few more double crochets to go, and then we can go on to row number 5, but row number 5 is a repeat of row number 3, so we're basically just repeating rows 2 and 3 until we have 30 stitches. So chain up 2, turn your work, and work in the back loops only, and just work 1 double crochet into each stitch across until there are 4 stitches left, and then once those are 4 stitches left, I will meet you up at the end of this row 5, and we'll go on to row 6 together. Alright, so I just have 4 stitches left on row 5 here, so I'm just going to double crochet those 2 together here, and then double crochet the last 2 together as well. Just like that. Okay, so let's see here. You know, I lost count and I want to count back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27, 28, 29, 30, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 41. Yep, 42. So you should have 42 double crochets on row 5. So going on to row 6, chain up 2, turn your work, do your 2 double crochets 2 together, so 2 double crochet decreases, and then just double crochet across, and then at the end of this row, what did I say, 42 stitches? So you should have 40 stitches at the end of row 6. So I'll meet you up then, and we'll go on to row 7 together. Alright, so at the end of row 6 here, I was like 6 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At the end of row 6, you should have 40 double crochets. So this is what it looks like so far. And you can see how it is decreasing here, because we're going to make it decrease and then we're going to increase. But we want to keep repeating rows 2 and 3 until there are 30 stitches left over, which will be after around 11. So I'm just going to continue repeating rows 2 and 3. I think you kind of get the pattern now. So I'm just going to continue doing that, and then once I'm finished with row 11 and I have my 30 double crochets across, I will meet you up and we'll make the other half of the tail. Okay, so once you finish row 11, this is what it should look like, and you should be on this end of your piece. Okay, and I should have 30 stitches across here on this row 11. So now we can go on to row 12, but I just want to show you, I mean, this is awesome. We've been working in the back loops only, and you can see the ribbing effect, which is really cool. It gives it a lot of textured look, which I love. So going on to row 12, now we are going to be increasing. We're going to be making this side come up here. So it's going to go like this. Okay, so chain up 2, 1 and 2, turn your work, and now we are only working in the first 2 stitches for row 12. Row 12 is going to be a repeat row for this pattern also. So in these first 2 stitches we're going to put increases now, because we want this to come outward like this. So put 2 double crochets in the first stitch, remember back loops only. So put 2 double crochets in the first stitch and 2 double crochets in the next stitch. 1 and 2. And then just put 1 double crochet in the rest of the stitches on this row. So then you will have 32 double crochets at the end of row 12, and then I'll just meet you up then. We'll just put 1 double crochet in the rest of these stitches, and I'll meet you up and we'll go on to row 13 together. Alright, so I'm just finishing up row 12, so you should have 32 double crochets on this row. Now chain up 2 and we'll go on to row 13, so turn your work. And also row 13 is a repeat, so we're repeating rows 12 and 13 for the rest of this pattern until we have 50 stitches. And row 13 is double crochet into each stitch across until there are 2 stitches left, and then in those last 2 stitches we'll put 2 double crochets in each of those. So just put 1 double crochet into each stitch until you hit the last 2 stitches, and I'll meet you up and show you that increase, and then we'll go on to row 14. Alright, so I'm just finishing up here. This is row 13, and we have 2 stitches left here, so we want to put 2 double crochets in each of those. So 1 and 2 on that one, and then 1 and 2 on that last one. Okay, so we just did our increase, so you can kind of start already seeing how it's coming outward. This is like this. So now, going on to row 14, we're going to chain up 2, turn our work, and we're just going to repeat row 12. So put 2 double crochets into the first 2 stitches here. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Okay, and then just put 1 double crochet in each of the stitches across. And then for row 15, chain up 2, turn your work, and put 1 double crochet into each stitch across until the last 2 stitches, and put 2 double crochets in each of those last 2 stitches. For row 15, it's just a repeat of row 13. So repeat rows 12 and 13 until you have 50 stitches, which you should have. Let's see here, repeat rows 12 and 13 until you have 50 stitches. And I did not write down how many rows that is. So I'm going to do that until I have 50 stitches, and I'll let you know how many rows I have when I'm finished. Alright, so at this point I have my 50 stitches, and this is what your tail should look like. It is 21 rows, by the way. I did not write that down on my pattern earlier, so rows 14 to 21 are our increase rows. And you're basically just repeating rows 12 and 13 until you get 50 stitches again. So this is what our tail looks like. Now don't fasten off. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And now we're going to single crochet all the way around this piece, working in both loops along this edge and along the bottom edge as well. Just working through both loops. Just insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We are just single crocheting around this piece, so nothing too fancy. And then once you get to the sides, basically wherever your hook fits is where you should single crochet, but I'll show you that once I get to the other end. So just single crochet along this row, and then I'll meet you once I get to the next corner here, and then I'll show you how to get along the side, and then I'll let you go on to do the rest of your tail yourself. Alright, so I'm coming up to this corner here. Now in this last stitch here, I'm just going to put 2 single crochets just to turn the corner, and now I'm working on this edge of the tail, the flat edge, and basically, like I said, wherever your hook fits, we just want to put a single crochet. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy because this is going to be bunched up and sewn to the shark tail, so on this end here. So basically, like I said, wherever your hook fits, just single crochet. And now just once you get to each corner, just put 2 single crochets in each corner, but just single crochet around this entire piece. And then once I finish this one, we need to make 1 more. So if you want to rewind this whole segment on this tail part, the tail fin, rewind this and make 1 more, and then once you have both of them done, I'll show you how to sew them to our shark tail. Alright, so I just came back around, and I'm just going to slip stitch to the first single crochet of this round. just like that, and then fasten off. I like to just chain up one. We're going to cut our yarn super long because we're going to be sewing it to our other fin that we're going to make, which I was just going to tell you that just once you fasten off this, just rewind the segment if you need to, otherwise just make another fin exactly the same way as this, and then once you finish that, meet me here and we will sew these two fins together and attach them to our tail. Alright, so once you have both of your pieces finished, on the second one I just cut short because the first one I cut a long strand for sewing, so you don't have to cut a long strand for both of them because you won't be sewing them using both of them or whatever for sewing. So anyways, we're going to use both strands at the same time for sewing. And get your yarn needle here. Okay, and now since we're starting at this tip here, we actually want to pass this all the way up through here and start at this side here. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do first. So all we just need to do is just go underneath the stitches. You can either go from underneath the stitches of the single crochet row or the double crochet row. Totally up to you. Just get this yarn to the other side safely so that we can start sewing this together. Because then we're going to sew this closed, but we want this side open because we're going to be sewing it to our tail. And you'll see that when I get there. But I'm just going to sew this all the way across, kind of like weaving in my ends, but getting this to the other side so we can use this strand. And then once I'm at the other side, I will show you how to sew the two tail pieces together, and then we will sew this to our shark. Alright, so once I got this all the way to this end here, now we can sew our two tail pieces together. So you can decide if you want to sew them mattress stitch or whip stitch or whatever way you want to sew them. Totally fine. Just sew them, so keep this side open. Okay, keep this side all open. Do not sew this side. Sew this side, this side, this side, and this side. Okay, so all along these sides here, and then leave this side open. Okay, and then I'll start you off here. So just go in. I'm gonna do mattress stitching. So go in from this side, and you're going to get an arm workout because you're going to use a lot of yarn here. And actually, you know what? You can actually just sew it using one strand, which I think I'd rather do, instead of using two strands. So let me separate these. Okay, so then one strand can be left behind, and then you can use the other strand. Okay, or you can use both strands, really up to you. I mean, it is creator's choice, but my preference is just to use one. Okay, so mattress stitch is just going from the inside out. And it's going to be a lot of pulling on the yarn. Okay, and then going back this way. And my yarn is stuck. There we go. Okay, and then going back this way. And just keep going back and forth, and I'll meet you up when I have this sewn together. Alright, so I'm just finishing this up. I just went all the way around this piece, so I just want to show you how to finish this off, and then we'll be attaching this to our body here real quick. Alright, so once you get back around, you want to make sure you're at the top here. Okay, so it's like this. And you know, you could get a little bit of stuffing here if you want to put it inside. Totally up to you though, just to make it a little bit more fuller. You don't have to stuff it too much, but just enough. Like a flat layer inside. You can see that's what I'm doing. And this polyfill is washable, so when you do wash this, it'll be fine. It'll even get a little softer when you do wash this. Okay, so now, at this point, you want to take this and you want to go around this edge here with your yarn and needle. And we're going to cinch this closed. Okay, but not cinching it all the way. We're just going in and out of these stitches around the edge here. Maybe better to do it this way. There we go. Alright, so just go in and out all the way around. Then once we cinch it tighter and closed, it'll be able to fit around the spot of the body that we want it to fit around. See, we'll be cinching it like this. Okay. So I'm just going to go all the way around this. Once I'm back all the way around this piece, then we will sew this to the body. Alright, so I just cinched this all the way around. Okay, so this is how it looks now. And we can attach it to our tail. So now, for our tail, you want to make sure, here I'll flip it over so you can see what I'm talking about. You want to make sure to fold it in half where your opening is here. Okay, so you want this to be folded in half like this way so you can see this. Okay? Now if you made the full cocoon, I guess it doesn't really matter. But if you made it like I made it with this opening, then you have to put the opening at the bottom here and fold it in half like this. Okay? And now we can attach the tail. So to attach the tail, we want it to be upright like this way. Okay, so insert this tip into the tail. However deep you want it to go in. I'd say around, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, around 10 should be good. Just like that. Okay, make sure this is cinched still. Just like that. And now we can sew it. And what we're going to do, actually it'd be helpful if we stick our arm inside. Okay, so I put my arm inside. And then we can go back and forth through the stitches, making sure not to sew your tail closed, because, or like the inside part where your hand is, because you want to be able to fit your toes in there. So just go back and forth around this. It is going to get bunched up, and it's going to do that. There we go. Okay, so just manipulate it however you need to get it to fit around this piece. Okay, so I'm just going back and forth. And I might go around twice just to secure it fully, but that is creator's choice. And just make sure that you sew this on around round 10 throughout the whole round. Okay, you don't want to sew it to round 10 on one side and then round like 15 on the other, because that would just look weird. So make sure that you are attaching it 100%. Okay, so I'm just going to attach my tail, and then I'll meet you up when we fasten off. Alright, once you're back around to the beginning to fasten off, you want to make sure that your tail does not have any openings or holes in it or around it, so make sure of that. And then once you're back to the beginning to fasten off, I just like to go under a few stitches, just like this. Make a loop and go under the loop, and then pull tight for a knot. And do that a few times. I like to do it, twice, 3 times, just for safety. And then to get rid of this straggler, we can just sew it into the tail since it's all closed up anyway. Nobody's even going to see that. Or you can sew it into some stitches. That's totally up to you. But I'm just going to sew it in right into my tail here. And then once that's safe, you can, cut the straggler and flatten out your tail. Okay, then you can make sure and see that your tail is good like this, and the opening is here, and there it is. Okay, so now let's make the side fins and the top fin. Alright, for the side fins, again with 2 strands of yarn and your eye hook, we are going to start off with a slip knot. So put the short end over the long end, fold that down, and pull that through. Insert your hook. And we want to chain 17, or you can half double foundation, half double crochet 15. But I'm going to chain 17, so yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And we are going to half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook and across, and you know me, I like to work in these back ridges here. So count 1, 2, 3, yarn over, go into that chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. That's a half double crochet. So now work 1 half double crochet in each stitch across this chain. At the end of this chain, at the end of row 1, you should have 15 half double crochets. Alright, so I'm just finishing up row 1 there, just like that. So now we want to chain 2, 1 and 2, and this is a repeat row. Row 2 is just half double crochet across, and we're working in both loops, so it's just simple half double crochet across this row, and you'll have 15 stitches at the end of this row, and repeat row 2 for rows 3 through 6. Okay, so at the end of this row, just chain up 2 and half double crochet across for 15 half double crochets. And I'm just going to do that, and once I finish row 6, okay, so we're doing half double crochets in rows 2 through 6. We're repeating row 2 basically. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once I finish row 6, I'll meet you back up and we will do our decrease row starting with row 7. Alright, so I'm just finishing up row 6 here. And now, going on to row 7, we want to chain 2, turn our work. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. Now we want to decrease. We are going to put a half double crochet decrease over these first 2 stitches. So yarn over, go into the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, go directly into the next stitch, yarn over, pull that through, yarn over, and pull through all 4 loops on your hook. Okay, that's a half double crochet decrease. So now yarn over, and for the next ones until we get to the last 2 stitches, just put 1 half double crochet into each stitch across. So there's a regular half double crochet in the next, so just half double crochet all the way across. So then at the end of this row we'll have 13 because we're going to do another decrease over those last 2. So just half double crochet until there are 2 stitches left, which I'm almost there and I'll show you right away. Alright, so there's 2 stitches left on my row, and now we're going to half double crochet those 2 together. So yarn over, go into this first stitch, yarn over, pull through, go directly into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook. Okay, half double crochet decrease. Chain up 2, turn your work. Now for row 8, we are just going to half double crochet across, so no decreasing on this row, just half double crochet across. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So you'll have 13 stitches on this row. Chain up 2, 1 and 2, turn your work. Okay, going on to row 9, we are going to do a decrease row. So half double crochet decrease over these first 2 stitches. So yarn over, go into this first stitch, yarn over, pull through, go directly into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. Okay. Then half double crochet into each stitch across until there are 2 stitches left, and then we're going to half double crochet those 2 together for a total of 11 stitches on this row. So I'm coming up real quick here. Half double crochet decrease on these last 2 stitches. Okay, then chain up 2, 1 and 2, and for row 10 we are just going to half double crochet across, so no decreasing on this row, just putting 1 regular half double crochet into each stitch across for a total of 11 half double crochets. Okay. Then going on to row 11, we're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, turn your work, and now we are going to repeat row 7, which is half double crochet decrease over these first 2 stitches here, and then 1 half double crochet into each stitch until there are 2 stitches left, and then we're going to decrease over those last 2 stitches. So then on this row there will be 9 half double crochets. Okay, so I have 2 left here, so I'm going to decrease over those 2. Okay, then chain up 2, 1 and 2, turn your work. And for row 12 we are just going to put 1 half double crochet into each stitch around, no decreasing on this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Chain up 2, 1 and 2, turn your work. Now we are working on row 13. We are going to decrease over these first 2 stitches, and then we are going to half double crochet in each of the next stitches until there are 2 stitches left on this row. So the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep. So in the last 2 stitches we're decreasing over those last 2 stitches there. So there would be a total of 7 half double crochets on this row. Chain up 2, and for row 14 we are just half double crocheting across. 1 half double crochet in each stitch across for, again, a total of 7 half double crochets. Okay, now going on to row 15, chain up 2, 1 and 2, turn your work. We're going to decrease over these first 2 stitches. Okay, this is our last decrease row. Decrease, then just put 1 regular half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then there should be 2 stitches left, so we're going to half double crochet decrease over those last 2 there. Okay. Then chain up 2, 1 and 2. Row 16, we are going to half double crochet across, 1 half double crochet into each of these stitches, so it'll be 5 half double crochets. Okay. Then don't fasten off yet. We're going to chain 1, turn our work, and now we're going to continue to single crochet around this entire piece. So just insert your hook, no yarning over, just insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And just do that all the way across this row. Then we're going to work up this side. So I'm turning this piece, and basically wherever my hook fits is where I'm going to insert a single crochet. Just like that. Very simple. So I'm just going to single crochet now around this entire piece, and once we fasten off, we have to fasten off with a really long tail because we are going to sew this to our body of our shark. So I'll meet you up when I'm about to fasten off, and then we will you'll have to rewind this segment if you need to make another one, another fin for the other side, and then I'll show you how to sew them both to the body. Alright, so once you're back around to the beginning, just slip stitch to the first single crochet of this round, just like that, and then to fasten off, I just like to chain up 1. We want to cut this yarn super long because we will be sewing this to our body, and pull that tight, and then stretch this out to form it. Okay, and then since we are going to be sewing this side to the body, we want to make sure that this is all the way on this side. And kind of like how we did with the tail fin part, we want to sew this through the stitches up to this corner here. Okay, so I like to turn it upside down, so I'm going through the bottom of it and just going through the stitches. Just like that. Okay, and then we're just going to get to the other side. Okay, so once I have that done, I am going to, I have to make another one, and then once I finish my other one, I'll meet you back up. So if you have to rewind this segment to repeat this, just make another one exactly like this, and then once you have both fins done, we will sew them to our body. Alright, once you finish both of the fins, you should mark on your shark tail where you want your accessories. So if you can see here, this opening right here, right opposite of that is where you want your top fin to be. Okay, then right in a little bit in front of it toward the mouth, and then space it out right on the side is where you want these fins to be, these pectoral fins, like this, okay, on each side of the blanket. Then this one right here is where my eye is going to go, and right opposite of this is where the other eye is going to go on the other side. As you can see, there's the eye there, and there's an eye there. Okay, so that's marked. I marked all these spots. In my pattern, I will mark, or I'll let you know which rows I marked here. So let me write that down, and then I'll show you how to sew on the fins. Alright, so I'm just going to sew this on here. I'm going to remove my marker. Okay. And you want the front of it to be where the marker was. And it's best if you put your hand inside of the blanket and then guide it around. And we're just going to do a whip stitch kind of style here. We're not doing anything too fancy. And I'm using both strands of yarn. You can use one strand if you feel most comfortable doing that, but I'm using both strands, and I'm just going to do that. The reason my hand is on the inside here is because I don't want to sew my shark blanket closed, so I'm just guiding the needle so that it does not go all the way through my entire blanket. That would be terrible. All that hard work and then I sewed it closed. Not good. Okay, so I'm just going to sew this on and then just do the same thing for the other fin, and then I'll meet you back up and we will make the dorsal fin, the top fin. Okay, so once I have this all sewn on, I just wanted to show you how I was going to fasten it off. So you want to go inside the shark blanket like this. Okay, so you're inside, and then to fasten off, I just want to tie a knot, kind of like how we did with the tail, attaching the tail fin. We're just going to tie a couple of knots, and then for this, we're just going to sew it under a few stitches. And then we can safely cut the yarn, stretch it out, and there you have it, your attached pectoral fin. Okay, so I have it attached on both sides, this side and this side, and now we want to make the top fin here. Let me fold this up and we can work on that. Get 2 strands of gray and your eye hook, and we can start working on that right away. Okay, so we're going to take 2 strands, make a slip knot. I've made a few in this video already, so I'm sure you know how to do that by now. Insert your hook, and we're ready to go. Alright, so for the top fin, we need to chain 2, so yarn over, pull through 1 and 2, and then in the second chain from the hook we are going to put 6 single crochets in there. So go right in there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's a single crochet, so put 6 of those in total in that same chain space there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you can tell I'm working in a circle, and I was working over my straggler there. And now at this point, since we're going to be working in continuous circles, continuous rounds, I am going to get a stitch marker. I'm just getting a separate color piece of yarn, and I'm just going to put it right at this beginning here so I can see where my round starts or ends. You can use a legit stitch marker, but I'm just going to use this piece of yarn because I have it handy. So now for round 2 and 3, we are just going to single crochet around. And I do want to mention we are working in the back loops only at this point, at this part. So back loop, back loop, back loop, just like how we were working on the tail fin. These are both loops here. This is the front loop, this is the back loop. So we're going to work through those. And it looks like we're working through 2 because we're using 2 strands. So just work through those back loops only. And for round 2 and 3, we're just putting 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so that was round 2. Going on to round 3, move that stitch marker up, and we just need to single crochet around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and oopsie, losing it, 6. There we go. Okay, so you can shove your stragglers in there and get those hidden. Move up that stitch marker, and going on to round number 4, we want to increase 2 single crochets in the next stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and do that all the way around for a total of 9 single crochets. So insert your hook, put 2 single crochets in this first stitch, so 1 and 2, okay, and then just put 1 single crochet in the next, just 1. Then in the next one we're going to put 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then in the next stitch we're just going to put 1. Then in the next stitch we're going to put 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then in the next stitch just 1 single crochet. So now you should have 9 single crochets, and we're back to the beginning, so I'm just going to put my stitch marker up. And now for rounds 5 and 6, we are going to just put 1 single crochet. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm sorry, just round 5, not 6. So just round 5, we are just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, now move your stitch marker up. For round 6, we are going to do an increase. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then single crochet in the next 2 stitches around, for a total of 12 single crochets. So put 2 single crochets in this first stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 1. Okay, then put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 and 1. Then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. 1 and 2. And then just 1 single crochet in the last 2 stitches. And we're back to the beginning, and you should have 12 single crochets on this round. So round 7 and 8, we will be putting just 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Okay, so 7 and 8. So this is round 7 right now, and I'm just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around. That, again, that's just 12 single crochets. So we're doing that for round 7 and round 8. Okay, so I'm just finishing round 7 here. Okay, moving my stitch marker up 1 and going on to round 8, just 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So I'm going to do round 8 and then I'll meet you up and we'll do round 10 together. Or, I'm sorry, round 9. Alright, so I just finished round 8, going on to round 9, moving my stitch marker up. I don't know why I said round 10, I was thinking ahead maybe. So for round 9, it is an increase round, and we are going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, all the way around for a total of 18 stitches. So 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 1. Then, so we're doing this repeat then 6 times. So 1, 2, and 3, then 2 in the next, and 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in the next, and 2 in the next, and 1 in the last. There we go. So you should have 18 single crochets on this round. Now, round 10. We are going to be just putting 1 single crochet into each stitch around for round 10. And then I'll meet you up for round 11. We will do another increase. Alright, so I'm going on to round 11 now. We want to increase, so we're going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches for a total of 24 single crochets. So insert your hook in this first stitch here, move up your marker, back loops only, 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, then 2 single crochets in the next, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and just repeat that all the way around. So 2 single crochets in the next and 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. You'll have 24 single crochets at the end of round 11. I'll meet you up and we'll go on to round 12 together. Alright, going on to round 12, I'm moving my stitch marker up, and we just want to put 1 single crochet into each stitch around for round 12. Super simple. So you'll again have 24 single crochets at the end of this round, and then we'll meet up and I'll go on to round 13 together for our next increase round. Alright, so going on to round 13, we want to increase now, so 2 single crochets in the next stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So insert your hook, move up your stitch marker, then insert your hook, 2 single crochets, 1 and 2 in the first stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3, and then repeat that. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And at the end of this round, we'll have 30 single crochets. So again, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So I'll meet you up when I have my 30 single crochets, and we'll go on to round 14 together. Alright, so I just finished round 13, going on to round 14, moving my stitch marker up. We're just going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So nothing too fancy for round 14. You'll have your 30 single crochets at the end of this round also, but then I'll meet you up and we'll go on to round 15 together, which will be an increase round. So I'll meet you up once I'm finished with round 14. Alright, I'm just finishing up round 14 here. Now going on to round 15, move up your stitch marker. And for round 15, it says to put 2 single crochets in the next stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches for a total of 36 single crochets. So insert your hook, 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then repeat. So put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. Okay, so at the end of this round, you will have 36 single crochets. So I'll meet you up and we'll go on to round 16 together. Alright, so I just finished round 15. I have 36 single crochets. Now for round 16 through round 19, we are just going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So round 16, 17, 18, and 19, we're just doing 1 single crochet in each stitch around, just like this. And at the end of round 19 we'll be fastening off. If you want this to be a taller fin, you can just continue going on, and if you can figure out the increases we've been doing, 6 stitches each round that we do our increases on, you can make this a bigger fin if you'd like, but we are just going to finish on round 19 and then sew this to our body. So I'm going to finish round 16, 17, 18, and 19, and I'll meet you up when I'm finished with round 19, and we'll fasten off and sew it to the body together. Alright, once you are done with round 19, 16, 17, 18, yep, 19, just go into the next stitch. To fasten off, we're just going to go into the very next stitch, yarn over, pull through and through for a slip stitch, and then to fasten off I like to just chain up 1. We're going to cut our yarn quite long because we are sewing this to the body, and then just pull that all the way through, just like that. Pull tight, remove your stitch marker. Alright, now it looks like this right now, but we are going to kind of manipulate it and kind of curve this top, and we're going to stretch this out. Okay, so you want to make sure that it looks more like a fin, like this. Okay, and we are also going to grab a tad bit of stuffing, just a little tiny bit, just to make it a little more poofier. Okay, just like that. And now we can sew it on to our body. So grab your yarn needle and yarn your needle. Okay, grab it, open up your body here, and where we marked it on the top here, I'm going to, since I marked the spot, I'm going to actually open this up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so the front of our fin is going to be where that marker is. Okay, so it's going to sit like this. But the way we're going to sew it is more like this. Okay, we're not going to sew it flat because it's going to then flop over and we don't want that. So we want to sew this on kind of like this. So I'm opening this up a little bit, setting this on here, right there. Okay, so we're just gonna go, I'm gonna put my arm underneath here as well, kind of hold it in place, and we're just gonna go back and forth. Okay, it's going to be a little tricky, but not too tricky. We'll figure it out. We just don't want it to move once it's attached. Okay, so without sewing your shark tail closed, maybe it'll be easier to turn this around. Alright, let's retry that. Okay, so we're right here. Okay, so we want it center, and we just want to go back and forth. Okay, so just go back and forth through through these stitches just like this, and make sure that your fin is straight. And I mean, you could whip stitch this on. You could go back and forth like me. There's so many different ways. You could actually, without having to go all the way through, you could just go like this and then pick it up right there. So it wouldn't have to even go all the way back and forth. You know what I mean? So you could, again, I'll show you, go in to the stitch and then go right back up through the next stitch. But I'm not left-handed, so that might be a little bit difficult. There we go. So for left-handers, that might be a little bit easier, but whichever way, really, doesn't matter. Just sew on your fin to your body, and I will meet you up when mine is fully attached. Alright, once you want to fasten off, we're just going to go all the way through to the other side of our blanket. And then we can tie a knot around some of the stitches. Okay, so tie a couple of knots actually to secure that. And then we can just go right into the fin itself with our straggler. And then cut that off, stretch it out so that's hidden inside of our fin. Fabulous! So there you have it. Our nice dorsal fin is on our shark. It looks great. Then you can fold this in half. Fin is lovely up there, and our other fins are on here, and now we can make the eyes and the gills. Alright, we're almost done. We just have to make the eyes and the gills. So let's make a slip knot. We're using black now and just one strand for the eyes and the gills. So make your slip knot. Okay, we're still using the eye hook, which is 5.5 millimeters, so make sure you have that as well. I'm sure you do, because you're just doing the whole project in that. So now for the eye, let's see, let me get my pattern so I do it right. We are going to chain 2. So yarn over, pull through 1 and 2, and then in the second chain from the hook we are going to put 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you can see I'm working in a circle over my straggler. There we go. Now, if you need to, insert a stitch marker. If I have one in a different color, there we go. Insert a stitch marker, because we're working in circles in continuous rounds. So in this next stitch, for round 2, we're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So insert your hook, and we are working in the back loops only again. So remember how I showed you for the fin part, we're going to work in the back loops only, and we're inserting 2 single crochets into each stitch around. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, last stitch here, 11 and 12. Okay, move up your stitch marker and we'll go on to round 3. We want to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch and 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then repeat that around. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch right here, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Then 2 single crochets in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next. So every other stitch on this one is going to have 2 single crochets in it. So just continue working that pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Yep, I have 18 single crochets. I'm going to move my stitch marker up, going on to round 4, our final round for the eyeball. We are going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch and 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Okay, and then repeat. So put 2 single crochets in the next, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then 2 in the next, then 1 in the next 2 stitches, 2 in the next, 1 in the next 2 stitches, 2 in the next, 1 in the next 2 stitches, and last grouping here, 2 in the next, and 1 in the last 2 stitches. Now, to fasten off, I'm removing my stitch marker. We're going to go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and through for a slip stitch. To fasten off, I like to chain up 1 and cut our yarn quite long because we are sewing this to our shark. Okay, so this is our eye. Now we want to get white yarn and just grab a strand of that. And then I lost my handy dandy yarn needle, but I will find it. Okay, with our white, we are going to yarn our needle and embroider a little shine mark around rounds 2 and 4. Okay, and again. Okay, just like that. There we go. And then tie a knot in the back. Okay, then cut that. Okay, there you have it. So now rewind this section and make 1 more of these, and then we will sew them onto our shark blanket. Alright, I'm just going to sew this onto the shark blanket here. I sewed my other one on, so now I'm just going to sew this one on. We want to make sure that it's where we marked it on the 13th row in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then you can remove that, stick that there, And now we can sew this on. Make sure the stragglers are all hidden underneath. And basically just sew it on. Oh, make sure that you put your hand inside so you don't sew your shark closed. That would be a tragedy. Not really, you could take it apart, but that would just be terrible. I would not like to do that. Anyway, we're just going back and forth on these stitches. Actually, I find it easier to be toward the front of this piece. And you can actually open this all the way if you wanted. Okay, so just sew this on to your shark. And then I'll meet you up and we'll make the gills together. Alright, so I'm just fastening off here, and I'm just going to go on the inside here and just tie a knot, a couple of them. And then we'll meet up and we'll make the gills together. Alright, lastly we need to make the gills. And I'm putting 2 on each side. You can put as many as you want on each side. I know most sharks have like 4 or 5 gills, but ours are not going to fully fit on our shark blanket. So start off with a slip knot, and you can make 4 of these. I'm going to make 4 of them. And we need to just do a foundation double crochet of 20, and then just fasten off. So foundation double crochet is yarn over, we're going to chain 3, so yarn over, pull through 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to yarn over, go into this 3rd chain from the hook, then yarn over and pull through. So you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through 1 of those loops, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops on your hook. That is our first foundation double crochet. Now we're going to yarn over and work through the bottom. I like to work vertically like this, and the reason is because we're going to work through the bottom of this here. So I'm going to show you right under here. We're working through these stitches right here. Okay, so yarn over, go right under those, then yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, pull through just 1 loop, so that's basically creating our chain, then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Again, yarn over, go to that bottom, those loops down there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, then 2 loops, and then 2 loops. Did I say 2 loops? Sorry. Let's start that over. Yarn over, go into the bottom loops there, then yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. You could tell it's getting late and I've been filming for a long time. So yarn over, go to the bottom here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So just continue doing that until you have 20 of these, and then once I have 20 of these foundation double crochets, I'm going to fasten off, and you need to make 4 of these, but I'll meet you up when I'm fastening off. Alright, I'm just finishing up here, and to fasten off, just chain 1, cut your yarn semi-long, because we're going to use it for sewing, and just pull that all the way through, pull tight, and there you have it. 1 gill is done. So make 4 of these in total, so make 3 more, and then we will sew them onto our shark blanket, which I already have mine done off camera, so I'm going to get my shark blanket all ready here. And we have gills here, right here. Okay, so we're going to put 1 here, and 1 right about here. like that. Okay, so sew those on just like how we did the eyeball, you know, just sew those on, and then I'll meet you up when we're all completely finished. Alright, so I just sewed on my last pieces, the details here, and our shark blanket is all finished. So now before we go, I do want to answer a few questions that may occur, like how do I make this smaller or how do I make this larger? To make this blanket smaller, what you would need to do is just stop increasing at a certain point. So for a toddler size, I would probably stop increasing at round maybe 20 to 21, which is the 70 stitches around. You could stop around 90 stitches around round 26 and 27. And then jump up to where the directions for round 44 are, which are making this opening. Or in your case, you can make it a full cocoon, or you can do an opening. But just from where you want to stop increasing, if you want to make it smaller, stop increasing and jump to the directions where it says round 44, and then from round 44 or row 44, you can make it however long you want it to be. And then once you get it to the length you want it to be, jump to the gums line with the red and do the teeth exactly the same. The teeth for all sizes will be exactly the same. And the eyeball and the gills here will be pretty much the same. You could make these a little shorter just by doing less foundation double crochets. You could, at the eye, you could end on round 3 and just have 18 stitches instead of the 24. This might be a little too big, depending on the size you want to make. But the fins, all the fins should be exactly the same size. I guess for the tail, that is quite a large tail. You could have the large tail, or you could have you could just do less chains in the beginning. You know, you could start out with 40 chains and then decrease to 20 stitches and then increase back up to 40, etc. So just, I mean, you can really adapt this entire pattern and all these pieces to fit the type of size you want. I mean, if you want it bigger, if you want the Afghan size bigger or wider, just go along with the increases that we've been doing, 10 stitches those rounds, every third round, increase it to be a little bit more. And you can increase the length as well. Mine measures about 43 inches from the tail, from this part of the tail, not that part of the tail, so it's even longer with that end of the tail, but this part of the tail up to the teeth measures about 43 inches. So that's awesome. That's the length of it. And what other questions would I have? Oh, how much yarn did I use? I used 2 full jumbo-sized yarn skeins for just the blanket part, so that those are 482. Let me do some math here on camera. Let's see. So 482 times 2 is 964. Sorry, 964 yards for just this blanket part. Then, for the fins, all the fins, I used 2 skeins at the same time of the smaller skeins, which are 364. So plus 364 plus 364. Oops, no, that's not what I want to do. Plus 364. So I used 1,692 yards of just gray. Then I used a little bit of red and a little bit of white and a little bit of black. So I would get 1 skein of each color, just of those, of the black, white, and red, just to have those. Or if you have scraps lying around, that's perfect for those. But for the gray color, I used about 1,700 yards of gray. So if you have that, awesome. Then, how long did it take me to make this? Well, I've been sitting here non-stop making this. And It took me about, I would say, 14 to 15 hours maximum. I took a lot of breaks in between, so, but 15 hours or so. And I already told you the measurements. Can you use a different type of yarn? You can definitely use any type of worsted weight yarn. I explain all the yarn in the beginning of this video, so you can see all the yarn you can use. I use Red Heart, but if you want to use bulky yarn, you can totally use bulky yarn as long as you just do it by measurements and know how to do the increases and everything. But the size hook that you should use, I'm not sure about the size hook. If you want to use a different size hook than me, I highly suggest just sticking with my pattern and working with the Red Heart yarn or any worsted weight yarn and the K size hook and the I size hook. So those are my frequently asked questions about my Afghans. I really thank you so much for watching, and I hope you can make this in the size that you need it to be in. Before I go, I do want to mention, make sure to check out the links in the description of this video. I will have the link to my blog where you can find out where to get this written pattern for this project. There's also a link to my Facebook page. Please join me there, like my page, share it if you'd like, and also share a photo on there if you make this shark blanket. I'd love to see all your shark creations, and you can get inspiration from other crocheters as well. If you do take a photo and share it on Instagram, make sure to hashtag YARNutopia so that I can see your work, and follow me on your Instagram as well. I'll put my link to my Instagram in the description of this video. And lastly, follow me on Snapchat. You can see behind the scenes clips of what I like to do on my free time when I'm not crocheting or when I am crocheting. And lastly, subscribe to my channel here on YouTube so you can get updates on when I put new videos out. I try to get 1 or 2 out every week. I want to thank our videographer and editor of this video, Fuad, Azmat, for taking the time out to make this with us. That's my dad, so shout out to him. So thank you so much for watching. Happy hooking, everybody!